We're now going to look at another architectural pattern called the event-driven architecture. And by the way, we're covering off the concepts now, and when we get to the actual AWS technologies, we're going to look at all of these different architectural patterns in action. So you're going to learn more about them. You're not only going to see how we use AWS services to achieve these types of design patterns, we're actually going to build them as well. So you'll get plenty of opportunity to put this into practice. So in this example, we have an event-driven architecture. Now, here's what happens. So the user is shopping online and is going to place an order. The order goes through to an application server. The application server then processes that order and it writes a record of the order to the database server. So a record has been written here. Now, what happens in an event-driven architecture is this event, this data being written to the database, can cause something else to happen. So in this case, the event publisher, which in this example is the actual database server itself, sends a message to an event processor and says, hey, I've just had a record written to my database, you might want to check it out. The event processor will then go to the database, find that record, and process it. And what does it do? Well, there's myriad options, but in this particular case, maybe it just needs to process that information and save it in another database, maybe for some kind of analytics or reporting that you're doing. So the point is, with an event-driven architecture, your systems can respond to things that happen. Now, there are a lot of examples of how we can use this. And when we look into AWS, we're going to see a couple of great examples of how this can be really useful. But just for now, just remember that an event-driven architecture is where when something happens, and it can be things like an order is placed, a database record is written, a file is uploaded to a storage system, then you want to do something when that happens. And so it can automatically respond to those things happening. So that's an event-driven architecture. And as I say, we're going to see this in action very soon.